Hello, Atlantic League Twilight Struggle fans. Justin Abramson back with you for the Atlantic League Championship Series. Of course, I'm not playing on it. I've never played in the Atlantic League Championship Series, so I have no idea what that's like. But this channel is the home of Atlantic League Twilight Struggle. So today we have defending champion, former number one, Ryan Pindulic, the established veteran, against a plucky upstart Jim Haefele. Rhymes with safely. Jim is certainly not new to the game of Twilight Struggle, but has been in the community, the online community, only about a year, and already he is in the championship of this regional tournament. So we hope this one's a good one. I've been told that it was. And so we're going to be watching from Jim's side, and let's get rolling. These are both players were number one seeds. They won their groups. So we're doing random sides here. Tiebreakers are played at criteria. Jim is the U.S. here, and a pretty good hand. Middle East, the obvious headline. All the defectors and purge are great. But obviously, Middle East will be the headline here. I don't think this is, this might be a hand where you try and talk yourself into holding purge. Oh, Nasser will cut short those Jim's hopes of a quick and easy 4 VPs. What I was going to say is Ryan's hand is that Jim's hand doesn't contain any good USSR headlines other than purge, so you can expect a good headline from Ryan. And he does headline Nasser, then he goes for the coup of Iran. It would have worked on Italy, but goes for Iran. That's what I normally would have done as well. With Asia still out there, of course, I like cutting off access to Western Asia and trying to fight for Europe other ways. So Ryan hits on the coup. Jim goes with the standard Lebanon, Malaysia. Duck in Jim's hand, so he doesn't have to worry about the duck coup. Yes, Jim is a plucky 54-year-old upstart. Jim's in the chat today to defend some of his moves against my brutal criticism. Had Jim over to my house on Saturday night when he proceeded to destroy me in Crokinole. So that was fun too. It was nice hanging out with my board game crew. I don't do it often enough. Okay, so but enough about that. Ryan will want to expand into Libya, even though Middle East has scored. He's going to want to get into South Korea as well. He's going to want to poke West Germany at some point. And we'll see if Ryan has an access card. I don't know if this is a situation where you'd play decall right away if you had it. Yep, that is exactly what he's going to do. I was wondering what that long delay was for. So, okay. And Jim is on his back foot immediately. So Ryan puts one into Thailand, and he puts one in Algeria as well. I think I like using the 4-op here and to go 3 France, 1 Thailand. Yeah, this is what I like because this gives us access to Laos, and that'll help us stop Asia Dom if we need to. But okay, Jim's going to save his 4, which is also fine. Yes, Peter, love to see you. Love to hang out with you, and I know the other guys would as well. But okay, Jim takes France. Now the question is, and if I'm Ryan, I would lock up Thailand. I'd put one into Zaire, and I'd put one into Laos and establish Asia Dom. That would be my play. We'll see what Jim goes for. Ryan may be reticent to go into Laos. Because he doesn't want to get it cooed. But the alternative is to just beef up Thailand, and then Jim could take a big coup there, potentially knock him out at DEFCON 4. Okay, this should go 1 Thailand, 1... Oh, okay, no, going to go Malaysia instead. Okay, that makes sense. He doesn't go Zaire. Yeah, Malaysia makes sense because... and Jim clearly doesn't have the scoring. I think he would have dumped it by now if he had. So Ryan doesn't have to worry about. Of course, we know he doesn't have the scoring, but Ryan doesn't know that. So you're thinking about a coup on Thailand, need a 5 with a 4-op to flip it. But also, we have France. Middle East is scored. Cooing it is not crazy because if you do roll anything but a 1, then Ryan has to repair and we can get a shot in Africa. Okay, going to go 1 Indonesia. Jim still does need his mill ops. Okay, there's a one-op coup in Indonesia. I don't mind that at all from Ryan. Yeah, and Jim's really on the back foot in Asia here. Jim's got to get a coup in. Defectors, honestly, would be my hold card, I think. Oh, a brutal 1 for Jim. Now Ryan with a pretty ironclad Asia dom. Ryan, I don't think Ryan wants to coup because if he does that, Jim's going to coup Angola and get both Angola and Zaire. So I doubt Ryan coups here. But what he should do is spread into Zaire. Not necessarily, I like spreading into Laos, but it's not necessary because we don't have access there. South Korea is also important. But yeah, rolls early on favoring Ryan. Pretty much everything early on favoring Ryan. Jim had his Middle East scoring headline neutered by Nasser. Ryan got a quick decall in, had a big role in Iran. So yeah, I think I like Laos. I like Zaire. I like Algeria. Honestly, I like South Korea. Libya is important too, even with the Middle East scored. But yeah, DEFCON's still at 4. Yeah, you're right. Laos, it's too early for that. It's for some reason I was thinking DEFCON was 3. Yes, too early to go to Laos. I would not go there. We have 1 in Malaysia and we've got 3 in Thailand, so that's supported enough. Yeah, I like all of that. I like all of that. Jim still could take a big coup on Thailand if he wanted one. But I'm not sure that he does. Would need a big number there. But he also probably doesn't just want to trade coups in Africa either. That's not that great. He could take another shot at Indonesia. No, going to go Angola. Okay, going to flip over Angola. And now Ryan can just take a coup of Angola on his own, lower DEFCON to 2, and lock in Thailand. Now I wonder, if I were Ryan, there's no way I would allow another coup. I think I agree with Jeremy. I would have taken the 1-up coup of Indonesia. Okay, he's gonna coup Panama with a 4-up. Oh, there's a critical 1. Okay, well now, yeah, that absolutely is the play. If Ryan's gonna hand over Japan, now we stop Asia Dom. We don't get Asia scoring, but we do get Europe, and we've got Purge. This is a nice hand here. We also get D-stall, held over Purge. So congratulations to Jim. That should be like an achievement of some kind in this game to hold Purge in the early war. It's so easy to say you're going to hold Purge and then not do it because you need the ops. But okay, blockade and D-stall, be able to dump that. Or he can headline containment and did I do remember you saying you wanted to do it and then not doing it, Jeremy. Okay. Yeah, I think Purge is better. Normally I like containment, but you have 2 4s, you have captured Nazi, you have Europe, and then you don't have a 2 you want to discard to blockade. The biggest benefit of containment really would be being able to space blockade and hold D-stall. And yes, that's exactly what Peter is saying is more important than getting us extra ops. We've got to protect France. We haven't seen de Gaulle, so we cannot allow de Gaulle to flip France. This is fine. Yeah, I don't see a need to do this. Yeah, I like taking my 1-up play here. Now we have ops here. So next priority for us will be get off captured Nazi if Ryan does not space here. Oh, okay, he's going to take Asia Dom. Yeah, and that's going to be tricky for Jim. He can take Philippines to stop Dom, and he can also take Malaysia if he wants to. But Ryan can just fill Laos and Vietnam, and then we're kind of back where we started. We'd have to flip Indonesia. Yeah, I think this is the right play. You got it. You have to defend against it. But if Ryan really sets his mind to it, he's going to get this Dom. Okay, EEU can be an important card even in the early war, as we learned from Max's game um, against Anton. Yep, and that makes sense. So now, yeah, really your best path here is you can fill Taiwan if you really want to, but I think I'd flip Indonesia. Yeah, I think I like that. The question is where to put the other op. Maybe. Okay, yeah, Jordan makes sense. I was thinking maybe even a fifth in France with De Gaulle out there. But okay, Jim now has 6 countries to Ryan's 5. So Jim could take Dom back. Excuse me, Ryan could take Dom back by taking Afghanistan and Burma with China. Nope, just going to dump Asia. So he could have taken Afghanistan and Burma with China, and he would have scored the Dom. But I think much smarter to just let Asia go for +1. Uh, and Jim's going to space and hit the roll. Okay. And then, yeah, going to take a Middle East Dom. What about an Egypt poke here? I kind of like an Egypt poke because Angola is probably going to get cooed next turn. And an Egypt poke is quite annoying, gets access to Libya. It doesn't stop Dom, but it does get us access to Libya. So if Angola gets cooed, we get Libya. Or maybe if maybe Egypt gets cooed, then we save Angola. I like this. I would do this. Okay, so here we go, turn 3. Oh boy, another monster here. 2 4-op redraws, a D-stall redraw, and then gets UN as well. So can UN D-stall for some more ops? So I think this is just a repurge. I think it's just a purge again because I mean you can UN, yeah, I think, yeah, and NORAD doesn't. This is not that great a NORAD board yet. Oh, I didn't even mention that. That's right, Jeremy. Korean War, a huge card here. Absolutely unplayable in this spot. So being able to space that on turn 3 is huge. Okay, decall redraw for Ryan, which is nice, but not game breaking by any means. Um, yeah, Jim is right. Double early war decall's not fun, but Jim has fought hard in Asia, and Africa's going to be ugly regardless. Let's see how Ryan wants to handle this situation. There's no reason at all not to coup. I wouldn't think. I would think you coup here, and then yeah, and that's the right play. De Gaulle for a coup. Okay, and yeah, so Jim's going to now get Libya. Yeah, you got to retake Indonesia. Yeah, you have to do that. That's exactly the right play. Ryan also played De Gaulle for ops, so don't have to worry about that until the late war. France at 5-0 anyway. Africa's just going to be ugly. Asia could get uglier. Okay. Wonder if Ryan has Middle East. Or no, Ryan may just think we have it. Jordan stopped the Dom. To South Africa's fine. Saudi would have also been fine. Mexico would have also been fine. But yeah, Jim doesn't want to get controlled here. With Angola at 4, though, it's going to be tough. You're going to probably have to take Botswana here pretty quickly, too. At some point this turn. I know Ryan won't take it because of the Mill-Ops issue. Oh, another EEU. That's great if you're Jim. Now East Germany and Poland are both at 4 with Warsaw gone. So we have a potential Europe control situation coming up later with Eastern Europe so weak. Let's see what Europe attack cards show up. If Jim wants to stop Dom in the Middle East now, he's going to have to take Saudi. We'll see if he does it. This is what Michael Stryker loves to do. He loves to count up in the early war, count up how many ops he has, count up the countries he needs to take. Mexico is going to be 2 ops. South Africa is going to be 1. That's only 3 ops, and we have more than that. So I would prefer Saudi here over Israel, I think. But I can understand it with AI war. This means AI war automatically fails. Yeah, that's true, Tim. Europe control is always in the back of my mind. Okay, there's Truman. Finally, does get into India. And Ryan could have done that earlier. Maybe he does. Maybe he redrew the war. So, okay, now Jim can play a sweat-free AI war, and it is a 6. All right, he does roll that 6. Doesn't matter. Marshall to space. Yeah, Ryan in the Justin Abramson school of thought with respect to giving Marshall in the early war. Jim spaces and misses. And then Sock Gov's event. Yeah, I think you just UND stall and fix that right up, don't you? Yeah. Okay. All right, not a bad early war for Jim. Asia and Africa look not so good. Do we get access into South America? We do not. But we get ABM, we get Missile Envy. CMC is nice, but I wonder if this, I think this may be a Missile Envy headline. ABM is obviously great to have. I'm not sure I'd headline it. I think I prefer Missile Envy to try and steal a coup in Africa. You could go with ABM into Thailand, but I think I prefer Missile Envy, but I can understand ABM. Headlining ABM is rarely wrong, and getting a shot at Thailand or even Pakistan. You might not even go with Thailand. You get a big role in Pakistan that threatens India as well. Although IP war is around. Okay, CMC, the headline. Duck, well, yes, so Duck's around, but you got CMC in your hand. So the only card he can headline, he's got to have We Will Bury You. He's got to headline it. And then he's got to have No More Fours, and he's got to have Duck. Now, to be fair, We Will Bury You is an extremely reasonable headline in this spot for Ryan, given the fact that he is probably just thinking about denying a coup, rather than taking one. Okay, so we're quagged now. And now Ryan goes into Nicaragua, which means even if we get out, and Jim does not get out. So Ryan is going into, he's doing the Max Goldman trick. Okay, and now he'll go into Costa Rica to threaten Panama. And I wonder what else he'll do. He could poke West Germany and score Europe if he has it. He could flip over Libya. Lots of annoying things. But that's a problematic miss on quagmire. Ryan thinking now about how to best take advantage of that. Lots of stuff he could do. But the most painful thing it would be is if Ryan could get into South America. But at the moment, Ryan does not appear to have the cards to do that. I think if you have Europe or Asia, the easy thing to do is just take the Dom and score right away. But I also think Ryan would have done that on AR1 rather than go to both Nicaragua and Haiti. Okay, NATO. Okay, that is active. And a flip of Indonesia. Okay, we discard again and we miss again. Okay, now we have a problem. If we miss a third time, we're giving up South America access. Orion scores Southeast, not regular Asia. Okay, finally out of the quagmire. Yep. Ooh, not what Jim wanted to see. It'd be crazy. It would be a crazy. Yeah, you could do this. This is fine. You try the realigns. One more shot at it, misses. I was thinking you could use ABM. You got a 50-50 shot of kicking him out of Chile and a 1 in 3 shot of getting yourself in there. But I think you have to use ABM in Africa to get a foothold there. China's going to get into Panama, spread out. Yep. ABM will coup Argentina. Need a 4 to flip it. Oh, brutal roll. Roll's really going Ryan's way this game. Oh, he did have duck. So now that we've seen duck, I wonder if Jim will hold missile envy. Although he'd probably rather hold one small step. Okay, well that's actually a good one. Ryan had no path to Millop, so I didn't love that coup from Jim. I would have rather seen him go into Saudi or something like that. I don't like giving Ryan a coup target, but he rolled a 1. Oh, and there's nuke subs. Okay, so now poke of Libya. I would have poked West Germany instead, but that's fine. Yeah, we've got to. Both these cards are really good holds. Anything but a 1 here for Jim. He finally does hit a roll. Okay, CRGs is nice. Bear Trap is nice. Africa scoring not as nice. Puppets is great. And VOA is great too. Wow. Okay, this is a great hand. Not a ton of ops and no power cards, but great events here. Oh, I see. A CMC made it say, okay, he could have removed from Cuba to get his mill ops, but he probably wouldn't want to do that. Okay, sure. Okay, so Puppets is an event, CRG is an event, VOA is an event. Bear Trap may be an AR7 play. Che right now is free, so that's great. And in Portuguese, all right. Salt. Gonna jack DEFCON up to 5. Or do we have any realign opportunities out there in the early war regions? We don't seem to. Neither player does really. No, there's no real realign targets. Ryan, the question is Ryan going to pull D-stall? Yes, he is. But the key here is because of Missile Envy, and that's a huge pull. Jim can get puppets off before the D-stall. I mean, I'm fine just cooing Nigeria here. It's boring, but I'm fine with it. Yeah, this is a very boring play, but I'm fine with it. That is what I would do, especially under Salt. Okay, big roll. Now, Ryan, the key here for Ryan, obviously, is he cannot play D-stall. He must play Missile Envy, so he'll lower DEFCON again, try and take a big coup on Zaire. Okay, now I think you have to puppet here because otherwise you're going to get shut out with D-stall, right? I don't. Okay. All right. So you're going to give Che, which is free. I would not coup, though. Yeah, I don't love that decision from Jim because now you're going to see D-Stall go into Angola, Venezuela, Brazil, Argentina, presumably. And then your puppets becomes a lot less valuable. So CRGs is still good though. CRGs can cause problems for Ryan in Africa, but yeah, this I would put one into each of the South American battlegrounds, I think, and one into Angola. But okay, so we're gonna use VOA first. Ah, yes, of course. Okay, we'll use VOA first. So we okay, so we give up the bottom half of South America, but that was probably lost anyway. Okay, so we're gonna lose Libya, and now CRG's. I like Burma. Honestly, I like Burma here. I like Burma or Laos. Okay, Algeria's fine too, or rather, Saharan's fine too. But Jim wants to score Africa Dom, so I understand the it's a better play in the short term. Yeah, yeah, a lot of big coups. Okay, so Ryan now has to take Algeria back, and Jim's going to score his Dom. Yes, Africa. Ryan was threatening control, and now it's Jim who's threatening control. Perfect antidote to a mid-war D-stall. Okay. Yeah. So 3 Doms on the board for Ryan, 2 on the board for Jim, and then South America is about to be even once we pup it in. Unless Ryan goes Colombia, Uruguay, in which case we'll only be able to get one of Venezuela and Brazil. But I suspect that Ryan will firm up Chile and Argentina before doing that. Yep, yep. Oh no, just gonna go Uruguay. Okay, so we will. Okay, Afghanistan's reasonable. I still prefer Burma though, because it threatens India, which is uncontrolled. Also threatens Laos, also a point in Southeast Asia if we can control it, just like Afghanistan's a point in regular Asia. Oh, and Ryan's just going to score South America. Okay, but as a result, Jim's going to take control in Africa. Wow. Oh, yes, Southeast Asia already scored. Thank you. Yes, Jim, that's right. See, that's what happens when I'm commenting games by myself. I say stupid things and there's nobody here to correct me. So thank you, chat. But yeah, this was absolutely correct, Jeremy. This was a fun turn. South America with Salt to start the turn, VOA CRG puppets, couple of big coup rolls, and lads just overprotecting a huge 11 for Jim in Africa. Wow, what a turn of events. And this should go 1 Brazil. No, doesn't even threaten it. Just going to go central. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. South African was the question, and it is around, and it's now in our hand. Asia scoring also in our hand. But we get you Surrey. So Usuris could be a good tool to fight Asia. So this could be a Usuri headline, China AR1, then cultural, should be able to get us out of Asia Dom. Europe and Middle East unscored as well. Have not seen Junta, have not seen Brush. Willie could be a good card here. Willie followed by a Europe headline. CIA, not a bad headline here at all, because knowing what Ryan has in his hand would be extremely helpful here. But I think Usuri is the headline. We leave CIA in the deck for the late war. Okay, gonna go OAS IP war for Ryan. That's pretty weak. Misses on the roll. Maybe he's thinking about arms race. Okay, Jim didn't want Central scored in the headline. I think I would have preferred Usuri. But we have an opportunity to fight in Asia, even if we don't do it in the headline. We can use Usuri to flip Laos and Vietnam, and that should do it with no problem. That would give us 7 countries in Asia, so it would be fine. Okay, Jim puts a couple in Panama to stop the Dom. But yeah, I think Ryan forgoes the coup here, fixes up Panama, and gets into Brazil. Yeah, Jordan, that play makes sense. Stop the Dom and shore up Brazil. It opens you up to Ortega, but in worst case scenario, you can realign yourself out at -2. Yeah, this will be 1 Panama and at least 1 in Brazil. Okay, gonna overprotect Indonesia. Not sure I understand overprotecting Indonesia. I guess he really doesn't want to get flipped back, but Jim is going to flip back Laos and Jim can just flip back Laos and Vietnam with Usuri. But of course, Ryan doesn't know he has access to those with Usuri. Okay, huge roll on U2. Now the question is, are we going to see Brush? That's an extremely ripe Brush target, even though South America is scored. Mexico also a good target with Central unscored. Italy would be a good target, but NATO is in effect. Summit a pretty ineffectual play. I think I would use CIA here. Not that it matters, but CIA is a card we must get back into the deck. And Kitchen is not. I would use CIA. Yes, I like this. Yeah, no, you're right, Jordan. It's a fine play not knowing about Usuri. But since we know he has Usuri, it's not going to help. Okay, space. Oh wow, I think I'd get Kitchen off after this, but I guess we're in no danger of having Kitchen deactivate. I don't know if I like 2 Pakistan. Isn't 2 India better? No, I don't like China. I like this. Okay. Brush is around. Pakistan's naked. I think I would have liked 2 India better. This does give us a very temporary Dom. And obviously, it's turn 6. Big question here is what scorings does Ryan have? Central and Middle East out there, as is Europe. So whose scoring is going to come turn 6 and who's going to come turn 7 is very important. I know that's the kind of groundbreaking analysis you guys are looking for. And yeah, so I think that's right. Jim is Probably fine playing China here, following it with cultural, with Nixon around. But I don't think we've seen gunmen. So Jim doesn't want to pick up gunmen turn 7 with no China. Okay, shuttle is interesting. Now I wonder, do you just take it? You could score now, or you could. I think I would prefer just taking India. Or Thailand over Pakistan. This is fine too. Okay. Okay, yeah. Jim's saying that if he goes to India without going into Pakistan, then Pakistan is perfectly safe and he only has to fix up those two countries. But to Pakistan threatens both Pakistan, India, and then, of course, Thailand as well. Okay, IP war is gone. Jim decides to take India instead of Thailand or Pakistan. And now Jim with Dom himself in Asia thanks to Shuttle. Ryan gives the Pope, which is a big problem. He's got to take Burma to stop Dom. He's not going to do it. Jim gets Dom off in Asia. Oh, that's huge. Ryan had Dom in Asia pretty well in hand, but Jim with Usuri and China, and then Ryan had to give Shuttle to flip that over. So well played by Jim there to get that Dom. I like how he played that. Okay, and now, yeah, one Saudi's fine. I like getting Kitchen off. And then I think I like, with Central and Middle East coming, I think I like the omit event. You could use cultural, just get out of the way, but I think I like the omit event. Normally, obviously, much more powerful on turn 7 than on turn 6, but with two bad scorings on the way, I think I prefer. Yeah, this is nowhere near over. Ryan with two Doms on the board. Jim with two Doms on the board. Asia and South America are even. Jim up 8 VPs, which is a big number. The question is, can Jim snipe scorings here with Omit? Okay, this is going to be Europe. Yeah, there's Europe. Okay, so now Omit for the event. And you try and snipe Middle East or Central. And you hold 2 red cards through. Yeah. Jim not going to do it. The other card we haven't, to be fair to Jim, the only other card we haven't seen is Kennedy. So Jim could pull Kennedy with one of these other, with one of the bad scorings. Okay, so Jim now going to poke Cuba, stop Central Dom with the bad scoring, and with that coming, and then Middle East still a comfortable Dom for Ryan. It's going to be 5 points, unless we get Kennedy in Middle East, and we do. Oh boy! So Jim gets Kennedy in Middle East. Ryan, I believe, does get libs though. So okay. Now, Jim said he is going to have something to say about his turn 7 headline. So, what is the headline? Sadat has to be an event, but I don't know what has to be the headline. Containment here is not bad. Comic-Con, although I don't know if I'd give Comic-Con. And Jim pointing out correctly that there has not been a reshuffle. Okay. So that makes sense. So now, okay. Jim probably wants to trigger Omit first and then Kennedy, Middle East. So he doesn't just immediately redraw it. Yeah, that's a good point, Jim. I often don't pick that up right away that there's no reshuffle. Ryan, we know, has libs and central though. So Ryan should be able to go Cuba, Mexico, Guatemala, and get off a presenceless Dom in Central. Yep. Ryan, yeah, and yeah, Jim wants to make sure. Yeah, omit makes sense because that lets Jim know what exactly is in Ryan's hand. Also forces the reshuffle in case Ryan tries to sneak out gunman on AR1 to get it back into the reshuffle because Ryan knows, or is at least almost certain, that Jim has both Ask Not and Middle East in his hand. So he's expecting Ask Not to be played here. So omit forcing the immediate reshuffle to prevent gunman AR1 makes sense. Yeah, I like this play. Oh, that's duh. That's the other card that we don't know about. And Korean War is a big pull. Nixon, annoyingly, was the card that we weren't seeing. So okay, but now no reshuffle, and Ryan has gunman. Okay, Ryan's gonna go junta here, presumably, and take central control. Yes, Ryan also has brush. Coup, not quite good enough, but Ryan just needs a 2-op to take Mexico and Cuba. Or that. That's much better because that breaks Guatemala. Yeah, if Jim coups, Ryan's just going to score a nice 9 in Central. But Jim can get 3 of those back immediately with arms race if he does that. Yeah, I would discard Comic-Con to Kennedy, given the Europe situation and how perilously weak it is. But I know you do want to get off arms race, and maybe you want to hold containment. Yeah, Ryan's going to be very happy to see containment, or excuse me, see Comic Con. Okay, so now we do the Guatemala Mexico play. We'll see if Ryan can match that. Or we might just see Ryan score Central right here. I think it would be 5. See if Ryan is going to go for control or take his 5. Okay, just a 1-op. Okay, so he's going to let Jim have his rolls. And Jim hits the roll, but Ryan can just go back in unless that happens. And now, no access back. So certainly Ryan, I would think now would just dump the scoring. He could coup Guatemala. Okay, needs a roll. He gets it. Force Jim to play arms race for ops. Yep. So Ryan gives up a VP by letting Jim take Mexico before the scoring. Oh, forgot about that guy. Oh, forgot about that guy. And now Jim in a little bit of a pickle here because he needs his mill ops. Yeah, that's well played by Ryan. Still, a successful brush war would have helped Ryan anywhere on the board, but this way it helps him immediately. I think Jim needs to give up and concede the 10. Sadat has to be an event. You can't give Brezhnev this early. South African is a problem. You can't give South African. And we're going to give up 10. Oh, and an Asia redraw is really annoying. It's still even. It's not going to cost us any points. But okay, there's Central. I think we have to dump Asia right away because we're not doing anything with it, right? Yeah, we're not. We can't poke anything. So we have to do that. AI War is fine. It's risk free. I think Ryan also has Camp David, if I'm not mistaken. Well, there it is. And now, yeah, that's annoying. I would have liked to get my mill up before playing Sadat with Middle East scored. I think Sadat could have waited. No, Jim, get your mill ops. No, you cannot let Ryan go to 6. No, you got to get your mill ops here, I think. Yeah, I think that was a mistake by Jim. He needed a coup on AR6. Oh, yeah, no, I don't. I would coup here. I would coup here. If Ryan draws Europe and scores it, that's too bad. But we cannot let Ryan go to 6 here. Yeah, okay. Jim going to take the coup. And here we go, turn 8. Okay, a pretty nice hand here, turn 8. Bear Trap sticks out as a headline. Marshall is not bad either, but you hate to... Really only one of the 4 ops matters. IP War, very nice as well. That could be an absolute game changer. That would give Jim Asia Dom. It's also big, obviously. Just not having to deal with Ryan having IP War is huge. But yeah, this I think is Bear Trap or it's Marshall. IP War is good, but it can wait. I think I like Bear Trap to maintain our Africa control. Okay, yeah, Gunman. I think we should have expected that. This will just be a coup in Zaire, presumably. And interestingly, Ryan is going to see that Jim has both One Small Step and Star Wars. So that's going to put both players in a very interesting space situation. Okay, Ryan out in 1. So Jim could use Marshall to flip over Zaire. He could go 1 West Germany, 2 Zaire. Yeah, that's fine too. I think that makes sense. You can... Just having the Dom in Africa is good enough. Ryan, I'm sure Ryan obviously wants to make Jim... Okay, well, there's a redraw. Yeah, I don't think we're using terrorism here. Both of our bad scorings are gone. So Ryan is not going to want to space. Going to want to get us to space first. But we also can't hold both those cards. We can't hold one of them, though. Marine Barracks wants to be spaced, but doesn't have to be. We'd probably give up Lebanon if we didn't space it, though. One up to overprotect Zaire. Yep. Okay, and Jim going to go ahead and space and hit. Now Ryan has a chance to space and neuter both One Small Step and Star Wars, and he'll hit. Yeah, I think I would have waited a little longer on that um, if I were Jim. IP war. Oh, huge number. Okay. Now Jim with a clear domination in Asia, 7 countries to 5, along with 4 battlegrounds, to go with Africa, so to go with being up 4-1 in Africa and with a nice Europe dom as well and NATO in effect. That was a huge number. It also makes Ryan's path to 7 VPs. Remember, it's got to be 7. There's no tiebreaker situation. The tiebreakers play that criteria. Makes Ryan's path to 7 much trickier. So Ryan's going to need war games in all likelihood. I think Ivory Coast is fine here. Now, Reformer is active here, so there's a you could do something like 1 Greece. I know it's just a little crazy. So Reformer doesn't just straight fill up the meds immediately. Okay, we get Reformer, so no concern there. We get Debt Crisis, which can be used to discard Reformer if we don't see Aldrich. We get Muslims, which is not really a problem. It's just we can refill. And North Sea is an excellent card here. Yeah, I think grain's got to be the headline, but man, North Sea is a great card here to neuter OPEC, because OPEC is Ryan's best path, not his only path, but his best path to 7 VPs. Yeah, North Sea is a critical card, but I think you still have to headline grain. Oh, Europe. And Africa. All right, that is pretty much GG. Um, yeah, and Jim's going to go ahead and take control in Africa. Yeah, and 5-year plan. Okay, Ryan gets those 2 VPs back. 5-year plan in Jim's hand, so Jim knows Ryan can't discard it. Space Reformer. I might have dumped that to the Debt Crisis instead, but I can understand. Maybe we want to hold Star Wars to turn 10. Yeah, that makes sense. I wonder if Ryan's going to jam again. Yeah, Debt Crisis. You're right. Debt Crisis doesn't have to discard. It's not a big deal. Um, but we might have just liked the ops there. Jammy jam jam. Okay, well, I'm fine fixing this with North Sea oil because now OPEC, while bad, 4 VPs is bad. Now OPEC doesn't get. It's not going to get him anywhere near War Games range. Wonder if we'll see a China jam in South Africa. UN of Nixon for a coup in Ivory Coast. We still have control. I would get rid of Muslims here. No, I would use Muslims here. Because I'd use Muslims here, and I'd take Egypt and Ivory Coast, because we can't use Muslims to coup. If we're going to take Ivory Coast, that's fine. I like taking Ivory Coast, but I think I like using Muslims to take Egypt and Ivory Coast rather than using a 2-op to take Ivory Coast. Okay. Still up. The country counts 7-5. 7-3 rather. So, okay, EU is very annoying for Ryan. With Europe scored Suez, not that big a deal. It'll go presumably to Israel, to UK. Nope, not even going to attack Israel. Yeah, that's fine. And overprotect. Realigns. Oh my goodness. Oh, he flips Algeria with real at -1 realigns. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That was a desperation play. But Ryan does get the flip. Yeah, that's still going to be a nice 6 for Jim, which gets him to 7. And there's Africa. Okay. We do get our 6, and now Star Wars for the realigns. And we hit. Good enough. Turn 10. This is a winning hand, especially with an active Cal. Wow. Okay. So Cal's going to get us to 9. Reagan bombs us 2 more. Ortega is an issue, but it's easily spaced. If we eat Purge and Aldrich, it's a problem. But even then, we can realign ourselves out of Cuba at +2. Yeah, Cal gets us to 9. Reagan bombs 11. Alliance to 14. Iron Lady, if we want it, to 15. Yeah, Aldrich. So I might get a little worried if we see an AR1 Purge, but because then we have an issue with Ortega if we have miraculously lucky/unlucky rolls in Central. Yeah, but Aldrich will dump How I Learned. Yes, How I Learned, but yeah, Alliance is better if you don't have Purge. Because Ortega will just be spaced. Yes, getting rid of Alliance is definitely better because Ortega can now just be spaced. Che is annoying, but hardly the end of the world. Yes, all I was saying is if Ryan has Purge to make Ortega unspaceable, then you dump How I Learned. And then we are forced to try and realign ourselves out of Cuba to survive. Yeah, Zaire flip makes sense. I would just go ahead and space Ortega now. Just right now, right this second. Get it out. Yep. So Jim with 9 VPs on the board. South America's unscored, but it's even. So Jim with 9 VPs on the board. He gets 5 more in Europe. He gets 1 more in Africa. So, and then looks like 7 in Asia. All right, so 5 in Europe, 7 in Asia, 1 in Africa is 13. So 22 for Jim. Ryan has 1 for China. He has 4 for Middle East, and he has 4 for Central. So that's 9. So Jim comfortably ahead here. Ryan trying even realigns. Oh, he hits again. That's an 8 VP swing. And quite annoying. Yeah, you gotta flip that back. So if Ryan takes this, yeah, he's going to take it with China. Saito? What time is that, Peter? I've never done Saito before. Guatemala doesn't matter. Ivory Coast doesn't really matter. But wow, yeah, Africa has flipped back red. Jim wants to get his Milops, Kuz, Saharan. It's 4 countries to 6. 3 p.m.? 3 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Let me check my calendar. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, I've got a dishwasher repair guy coming that day. But he's not necessarily coming at 3, and even if he is, I can still do it. Okay. So this turn has not gone as well for Jim, but Jim did get realigns in Algeria, and Ryan has no way back in. So Jim's still the +1 in Africa, +5 in Europe, +8. It is only 7. It says 8, but it's only 7 because of shuttle. Only 7 in final. But okay. Congrats to Jim on this one. He takes game 1 from Ryan. Ryan is a defending champion, former OTSL champion as well, and also Ryan's also been to the Atlantic League Finals before this. So certainly a great game from the upstart Jim to steal game 1 in this series. And I will have every game for you right here, no matter how good they are. So make sure to tune in as soon as these guys play game 2. I'll try and have it on the air the next day. But thanks everybody for watching. Have a great rest of your day. That was fun, but now it's done. So long, everybody.